Hey guys, so one trick people don't really know about is that you can use these HDRIs, these here, for your final renders. So you don't really have to download new HDRIs when you're rendering. If you want to access these images here, you can just go on the viewport shading and turn off scene world, and you have access to these HDRIs just like that. And they can also work in cycles. Let's go here. You can see how easy that is. You can switch between them. Now, one issue you'll notice is that if you try to render this, you won't have that data. You won't have the HDRI lighting that you have there. Because this is viewport shading, you're only getting this in the viewport. If we switch to Eevee and try rendering as well, you can see we don't have that data because this is still viewport shading. So if you want to render this out here, if you're using Eevee, you just have to use the viewport render engine by going to view and then render image. And you can see we have rendered the image with the background lighting that we have set up in our viewport. And if you want to render this through the camera, you need to be viewing this through the camera and then render viewport like that. Now, if you try to render this directly, it won't work unless you set up the world with the HDRI you used here. So what we're using here is so it's this HDRI. So I can get that by setting up an environment texture and try to navigate to where these images are saved in the Blender installation. So, and that would be in your program files, Blender Foundation, and then the version of Blender you're using. And you go to 3.3 or 3.1, whatever version you're using. You'll see the data files, then Studio Lights, and then you'll find the world, and that's where you're going to find the lights. Now, I'm not sure which one this is. I think it would be the forest. So I'm just going to copy this link, and I just open here, paste it here, and yeah, so I think it's this here. Open that up. Now, if I go to cycles and render directly, I'm able to render everything. And so these HDRIs here are very good at previewing your lighting in different setups. So you can even install extra HDRIs by just clicking this setting icon and then install, and then you can navigate where you have your HDRIs. You can just add in this, and now if I go back here, I should be able to get that. But again, if you try to render this, it will just render what you have in the world settings, because remember, this is viewport shading. It's not render the final render. So if you want to switch it to that, you just have to come back here and change it to the HDRI you have just set up. The reason why it's not changing is because I have it turned off here, so I can bring that back on, and you can see. Yeah, so that's a nice trick I thought I would share with you guys. Don't forget to check out Blender Everything for free models, more Blender content and stuff like that. Also check out Simply Cloth Pro, which is an add-on, amazing add-on for creating cloth. You can use it to dress up your characters, give them accessories and anything that you want. It's basically become a designer, a cloth designer for your characters with a few simple clicks. All links are going to be in the description. Thank you.